So if you've been following me for any period of time, you know that I go to a lot of events. I attend a lot of conferences, and I've been doing this now for the last 3 years. I'm in multiple masterminds. I have business coaches. I'm just in a lot of networks where events are typically thrown and thrown quite often. And I used to go to these events and just think it was an opportunity to network, which of course it is, an opportunity to have a good time and to be around people that I wanted to be around. And I used to go from event to event, and I would try to go to all these different events and think that by going to the quantity of events, I was automatically just going to level up personally and professionally. Well, as you probably know, if you've gone to an event, they're very draining. Not only are most of these events that I go to out of town, but they're usually multi-day events with jam-packed schedules. And as a busy entrepreneur, I don't necessarily just have time to go and waste like I did when I was just getting started in my business. I didn't have the team at the beginning. I didn't have all the clients. I didn't have all the tasks that I need to do like I do now. So time as you grow and scale your company is only going to get more precious. So it's really important that you quantify the opportunity of going to each individual event from a financial standpoint, from a return on investment standpoint, and really from a quality standpoint of your life, right? You don't want to be traveling all the time if you don't want to. If you want to, great. For me, that's just not what I'm interested in doing right now. So I've started to go to less and less events over really the last 18 months. And what I learned is not only in the stuff I just talked about quantifying the opportunities and things like that, is really getting intentional about what I'm trying to go and do at each individual event. And at these events, there's usually multiple speakers, breakout sessions, networking, before, after, all the good stuff, which is great. And I used to try to write everything down and then go back and try to implement everything in my business. I'd get back from an event and tell the team, hey, I just went to this amazing event. Here's all these crazy ideas that I want to implement in the company. And then we'd end up implementing literally nothing. And even if it was for me personally, I'd have all these ideas. Hey, I'm going to change this routine. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to go invest in this. I'm going to go do that, right? And I ended up doing none of it because it was literally like overwhelming in my brain. Everything was mush, right? And so as you're going to these different types of events, just make sure that you have a clear and concise goal of what you're trying to accomplish when you go. Make sure that as you get back from these events that you are implementing one or maybe two things, not hundreds of things. I'm not saying don't write down all of the notes, not saying don't attend all of the sessions. What I'm saying is prioritize the information that you're learning at these events and go back and step by step implement these things. If you try to implement everything, you're going to implement nothing. Attending conferences and masterminds and all these different events has literally changed the landscape for me personally and professionally. So I'm not against going to them by any means, but I used to be the guy that would raise my hand every single time somebody was throwing an event. The more and more people I connected with, the more and more groups I started to be a part of, I realized you could literally go anywhere almost any given week of the year, right? So if you wanted to go to every single event and travel all over the world and spend all the money and go do all that, you could do that. It's gonna lead to burnout. I've been there. I've traveled a lot since graduating college in medical device sales, and then now as an entrepreneur going to these events all across the country. It's absolutely draining, and it will take a toll on you. There have been multiple times where I've had to cancel going to events last minute because I've reached burnout from traveling week after week after week after week. Now I have the baby on the way. Baby's coming in about 5 or 6 weeks from the time I'm recording this video. I'm going to take a couple months off of traveling to be able to stay with the baby and, obviously help out around the house. And that's something I'm very fortunate to be able to do. But I've gotten very, very clear on what's important when I go to these events, why I'm going, what I need to get out of these events, and then quantifying if it makes sense to continue going to these events over and over again. So I hope this helps. I would absolutely encourage you to start attending events if you're not already. If you're attending events, I'd just make sure that you are absolutely quantifying the opportunity, teeing it up, and making sure you're getting the most out of it. Thank you very much for watching today's video, and we'll see you next time.